them a big round of applause.
Thank you.
All of you, thank you for being here. And put your right hand up. Wait, don't be so impatient. Put your right hand up, come a little closer, and pat your back. Put your right hand like this, and pat the person's back. Because teachers generally don't appreciate each other so easily. Hamara school. Sorry to say this, but anyway, so I think I have a prayer first, and the prayer is that, which probably you may not like or you may like. I put that clearly. My views may be wrong. Whose face is that? Whose face is that? Anybody? There's no prize here. Anuradha, whose face is that? No. Voltaire. So first, this is the 6-line prayer which I always have every day in the morning. One is, every child is important. All children are equal. Every child can learn. No child is born a criminal. Every child is different, and transformation is possible in every child. This is something which we need to really integrate all the time. But I would like to share 5 P's. P. And I still remember 25 years back when I used to go to schools, the principals were 50, 55 years old, but they were healthy. They're much healthier than the principals as of now. Now when I go to school, they're all in the 40s. Somebody was the principal at 25. My God. Fantastic. And young principals now, when I go to their schools, they say, I've got thyroid, I've got blood pressure, I've got diabetes. There's something happening to your Prakruti. And that is something you need to really look at very, very carefully. Schools will run without you. Schools will run in spite of you. Schools will run even after you. But यार, कुछ करना है आप लोगों को. And most of the principals who are women do 3 times the work as much as their spouses. I mean, let me be very clear. 3 times. So a little extra emphasis on health is very important, and very, very important. Father Swami once felt that long ago, and he started 2 things in his school at Holy Family. One was a dance floor, proper dance floor for teachers. And the second was a swimming pool for teachers. And then the 10th standard students wanted to swim in the same pool at the time of the teachers. So then he had to face a lot of resistance from people close to him. But he did that. So something very innovative for you guys is very important. प्रकृतीचा ख्याल नाही ठेवला तर मुलांना पण त्रास होणार. And that is important. Even small things. I will not say how to do it, but it's something you need to really look at. Also, the second thing is power of presence. And what is power of presence? We are slowly going into the digital world. Many teachers are becoming very lazy and putting a slide there and say, ye hai, wo hai. And we're slowly losing the power of presence. The power of presence of a teacher is unfathomable. It has an impact which no PPT can give you, no video can give you. And building that power of presence all the time is so important. Emphasizing the teacher inside the lady or the man to be there, standing, speaking, and transacting his or her being, very, very important. And power of presence first is, all teachers need to learn how to share stories, whether they're maths teachers also. I still remember that day when somebody got up and said, "मैं maths सिखाता है." इसमें कोई story नहीं होता. You know how it is, no ma'am. Maths teachers have a longer nose than Marathi teachers. In the teachers' room also, their chairs are properly maintained. The Marathi teacher comes like this. The PT teacher is thrown out of the teacher's room. He's not there only. So the maths and science teachers, they have to convert the matter into story. Ultimately, it's not the matter which is important, it's the story which is important. I think the power of stories has to be brought back to school, whether you're... I still remember an economics professor, a college professor, हमारे economics से concept होता है क्या? तो कहानी वानी नहीं होता है. I said, इधर subject clear है तो vocabulary simple होता है. Simple. Physics teachers, ये equation, nahi. How to come to that equation? What is it that you need to say about Newton's stories? I still remember Uncle Pike speaking about Newton. Newton was a bullied boy, and one day he clenched his fist and punched the other boy. Power of stories is the power of presence. Second is power of children. Very important. I don't think you need to teach everything. My teachers in my school, St. Xavier's High School, they did not teach the syllabus, especially the Hindi teacher. I love Hindi teachers. Stories. And in a class of 45, there are 46 teachers. In a class of 45, there are 46 teachers. Students can also teach, and not necessarily the clones of teachers. You know, in a class, there are 3 types of students. No? Front row is good morning, sir. Middle row is hi, sir. And last row is who, sir. Especially the ladies who are sitting behind. कौन है ये शेट्टी? क्या बोलता है? So I think I would teach in a school. I would empower students to teach little about the entire chapter, and they may not be from the toppers. They could be anybody, and a student can create much better food with the same dough than teachers. So why not experiment with power of children, power of allies? Well, as somebody said, I think Sister Monica said that they got a lot of outsiders to get into schools. A good principal makes use of the PTA properly. Some principals are smart. They ask them to do Anand Mela, so there's no complaint करने को time ही नहीं. Anand Mela करो, ये करो. Some principals are smarter. Road संभालो जब बच्चे लोग आते हैं तो become a traffic police. Father Swami, Holy Family. All the parents are doing like this. So complaint करने का झंझट में नहीं, इसमें time निकल जाते हैं. And my son's school, I will not name them. Anand Mela karo, maja karo. To, they get occupied, so they should. But the important thing is what all others said, that having stakeholders involved in schools. Some principals are very paranoid after a phobic response from a parent. Some schools did not have PTAs even till last few years. They're scared. Nahi, zanjat nahi chahiye humko. But smart principals get allies to solve their problems. And I've seen Father Adolf Furtado at St. Dominic Savio. Mrs. Josephine was smart principal of Jamnabai. Father Swami had multiple issues in those schools. He had never to go to the police station. His allies managed everything. And that is very important. So power of children is something we need to look at. Now, pravas. सिर्फ कॉन्फ्रेंस को आने का नहीं. एक दिन ऐसे उठने का. Gandhi ji did that pravas twice because I think Gopal Krishna Gokhale told him. Ultimately, everything started from Maharashtra. Is there any Bengali here? My God, they'll talk about Bengal Revolution. I was told yesterday that the language Bengali was lost by one vote. Is that true? And Hindi won. Somebody told me yesterday. Mr. Gandhi, who scored 36% in 10th, traveled twice across the country to understand the country, and he chose the attire which will reflect, which will echo across the country, and he chose the charka as a symbol, and he was one of the best psychologists of the century. Now, why should you wait for invitation? I mean, doctors practicing the same area don't meet amne samne. They don't meet. Why not just get up one day, structure it? Everything in structure doesn't work. Just walk up to the school next door and say, I've come for tea. Health improve hoega bhai. No, I'm a principal. How can I go? No, I can't go without announcing. Well, I'm a principal of a 5-star school. I can't do that, It's a reputation. Reputation is a fantasy. Pravas. It's important to just go and make chai pine ka. Informal. A lot of things happen informally. How many of you have fallen in love informally? Did you say structure? Chalo अपन प्यार का सोचते हैं तो आज आप बात करें. Informally. Revolutions happen informally. Most of the learning in schools and colleges happen when children speak to the teachers informally, between the conferences. So very important to understand that the third is pravas, and that is so important. My dear friends, this is something we really looked at during the COVID era. Doctors, I went to all hospitals and talked to teachers, doctors, IABIs and nurses. We were looking at that thing which will raise the morale of doctors. We were all down. I mean, it was difficult. So many of us used to wear those PP suits like the astronauts who go up and down, and they would sweat in that, and it's so difficult. So one thing we learned, which really worked, was AAA. If anybody can actually guess this, you will get 3 nights and 2 days in your own home. Actually, I mean, if anybody can guess this. Anybody quickly? If you answer 2 ways, huh?
Adapt, adapt.
Yeah?
Adapt, adapt.
Ah, okay. Good. I mean, she's trying. Kill, shame, and seek. Anybody who tries is a great teacher. Anonymous, abundant appreciation. Anonymous यानी क्या? यानी मैं सुना वो बांद्रा में कोई है टीचर, and she's from Avabai Petit का प्रिंसिपल है. मैं जानता नहीं उसको. आर्माटी का फ्रेंड है इसका. आर्माटी जोर से हंस रही है. I heard about it that she did something phenomenal. I've just heard. I'm a teacher. I don't know her. I'll find the number. I'll pick up the phone and I'll praise the person. Anonymous, abundant appreciation. Let me tell you, doctors and principals don't clap. हमारे senior, as senior you are, they clap less. देखो ना, ये तो कांदा बची clap है. No, don't clap for me. Anonymous, abundant appreciation. So important. I mean, you hear something good, something, even in a remote school, pick up the phone and appreciate. And that will change you, forget the person across, and that will improve your state of being and make you very powerful. Well, we were exploring these 3 words in COVID. What helped? Communicate, connect, and connectedness. 3 important words. What is communicate? Hi, on the Facebook. I don't know how to use the smileys also. Happy birthday. Somebody, once what happened? Somebody put my picture on my birthday on Twitter or Facebook. At the end, what did they wrote? Huh? क्या लिखा होगा? Somewhere in the middle. Rest in peace. My God! You just forget. Fellow is dead or alive. Rest in peace. I have said, what the hell? You don't even look at the message. It has happened. I'm not joking. It's actually happened. Actually happened. And then probably the picture was also very somber. So that is communicate. Kaisa bhi, you look pretty. होता ना in the airlines, you look pretty. कुछ connection ही नहीं साला काय का pretty. जानता इसने काय का तू कौन है मैं कौन है मेरे क्यों बोलता है? Communicate. Connect means a little more. You know, I connect. I might do something. My neighbor's istri wala ka kapda hai, मैं रखेगा वापस दिया. But what worked in COVID across the world, research proved, is connectedness. And connectedness is something which helps the soul and helps the heart. And it's so important for us to understand. I was Sister Monica, and I liked her passion. She heard from somebody, Sister Audrey, and landed up in Bombay. I saw them coming early. 2 of them and 1 of them. क्या passion है यार? क्या passion है? I think connectedness means doing a little more for the other. You know, I have 3 counselors. You don't have 1 counselor. Can I help you to build a counseling center? अपना झंडा ऊंचा रहेगा वो बंद करो यार, देश एक ही है. We all are part of the whole. I mean, the world is one. So connectedness means walking that extra mile for somebody. And so many principals do it for your own teachers. But a little more, and building this inside your school, connectedness is something so important because globalization disconnects. In my building, somebody dies, it's there on the notice board, mar gaya. क्या दिन आया यार, पता भी नहीं वो कब मरा. And when I was a teenager, we used to attend funerals. There were at least 300 people in a funeral. So this loss of connectedness is part of adverse effects of a globalized world. Let us reverse it by improving our connectedness. My dear friends, you all know this. I mean, father would have gone for retreat, sisters would have gone for retreat, reflection. But I am going to do a different thing of reflection. I am still struggling in my SM Shetty school, to ask the principal to take feedback from students about teachers. नहीं हम किया, हमने किया है, नहीं हम लोग करते हैं. So much insecurity. And we are not asking for the feedback to fire a teacher or to really scold a teacher. We are asking the feedback for improvisation of the school. I still struggle in my international school, in my SSC school, to convince them that this feedback, right from the little class up to higher class, not by their own teacher. Chalo, humko feedback do. Systematic feedback. And we don't have it, we don't do it at all. I think the time has come that we evaluate ourselves so that we improvise every day. And feedbacks from students are very important. I still remember in the 10th standard, I just told a school principal, ask every kid, what are the 3 things they like about their teachers, no names, and what are the 3 things they did not like. And the principal put it all, collated all and put it in the teacher's room. And the teachers went and said, ye mai tha, mai chillata ho jana. मेरे बारे में लिखा होगा. And they changed without talking about compassion. 3 things. What you like at 10 cent students because they're going, no, they are not worried. Easy to write, no, and without names. It really works. So honestly, I still remember at TIS, where I used to teach for 12 years, Tata Institute of Social Sciences, I was a popular teacher. Optional subject, most of the kids would take that mental health information. And then I went to the office one day after a year. Ujara, tumhara feedback, and they take a systematic feedback. Feedback though 10 people had said, ये teacher अच्छा नहीं है. क्यों? हम लोग वो सिर्फ 10 बच्चों पे ध्यान देता था. हम लोग हाथ ऊपर करते हमारा ऐसा हाथ जाता ध्यान ही नहीं देता था. I used to always focus on that. Was in the 90s. And I said, next year I will not look at those people put their hands up all the time, you know. I will now go to the club, to the backbenchers who don't ask and ask them to ask questions. I did that. In the next year, these kids who wanted to ask questions, they criticized me. You know. Then I learned how to be equitable in a classroom. Feedback helps the teachers to be equitable, and that is so important. Feedback from teachers, very important for the principal. The हर एक स्कूल में एक प्रिंसिपल होता है, 5 साइकोफेंट्स होते हैं. Digvijay Singh. And they like it because there's always in a school there are 5 teachers who want to become the principal. They go to the principal's room again. Those teachers who go to the principal's room again and again, they want to be the principal. Now every principal is taking names now. Nothing wrong in those ambitions, okay? But very important to sit with your teachers and say, what is it that you think I should change? And what is it that you think I have done well? And filter through those people who always praise you, and that is very important. Feeding the management को sensitive करना बहुत difficult है. Lecture से नहीं होता है. जैसे सुबह बताया उन्होंने एक बच्चे को हमने मैनेजमेंट के सामने लाया. बीच में continuously tell all the good things you are doing, which are different than the ordinary things you are doing all the time. And that I think is so important, my dear friends. So I repeat. You of the 5 P's for yourself. Prakruti, very, very important. Your health. It's not so unimportant. It's very, very important. Principals are really stressed, extremely stressed. वो minister का phone आता है, वो बोला ना, Miss Hegde, minister बात करता है, ये बात करता है. And I also get such calls. अभी मंत्रालय में तो तुम बोलते हो. I said, is your name Mantralaya? Sometimes I ask them. 2 people always talk about the profession. One is the Mantralaya and one is the Income Tax Commissioner. मैं Income Tax Commissioner बोलते हो. अरे नाम है ना तुम्हारा? So that's stress, Prakriti. And the second is power of presence. The second P. Third is pravas and full pot of tea. चाय पीने जाके ऐसा बिना पूछ के नॉक करने का, चाय प्याला लो. शर्म बार में रखने का ही नहीं जी. How will she feel? How will he feel? कच्छ नहीं चाय पीने को आया. In fact, when I go to schools, I tell them my menu for the breakfast. Every week I'm in a school for the last 25 years. So tomorrow Monday I'm in a school, JBCN Parel. So I go and tell them I need 2 slices of toast bread, 1 cup of coffee. When I finish, I need missile and 1 pav. If I go to AB schools, I tell them fish, chicken and rice, and they provide it. When you go to a Guju school, you have to give different menu. So and I've written an article of what is the food I got in different schools. Very interesting article I've written. Olden schools, 15 minutes के बाद चाय पियेंगे क्या? हाँ बोलने का. Then you get 15 minutes more with the principal because tea comes late. Others that time one samosa, 1 wafer, 1 sweet. काय ते असते ते squarish काजू कतरी आणि 1 chai. But now it has changed. Schools feed you well. Pravas, praise and personal. With this I stop and I tell you, ma'am, what an awesome day today. My God, my book is full. I've written so much, I've learned so much. And let me tell you, each principal who has seen thousands of kids going through him or her across time, you guys have a lot of wisdom, but you're not aware of your wisdom. And your impromptu sharings are pearls, and I've written each word, and I genuinely thank you for coming today, but the actual thank you will be done by somebody else. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, friends.
What a fruitful day. When we go back